The last class of carriers of the Japanese Empire was the Unryu class. They were a modified Hiryu design. These ships were not emergency war designs, as they started design work before the start of the Pacific War. They were part of the Circle 5 program, only one ordered. They were downgrades from the Shokaku class as they could be completed faster. But after the Battle of Midway, 4 additional Unryu class were ordered, and soon enough they extended the design run. 16 were called for. This was later revised, 2 of them being cancelled for the conversion of the battleship Shinano as an aircraft carrier. The difference between the original design, Hiryu and Unryu, was the location of the island, and instead of 3 elevators, there were 2 larger ones. Radar was added as well as more anti-aircraft guns, the number being mixed between single and triple mounts and would vary between each of the class. The hull shape was slightly modified. If there was a fire, foam would be used instead of CO2 gas. Anti-torpedo defense was added and armor was reduced. There are 7 known names for the ships: Unryu, Amagi, Katsuragi, Kesagi, Aso, Ikoma and Karama. Top speed would vary as well because of different machinery used or planned. Power output was around 104,000 shaft horsepower. Speed was around 24 knots. Displacement would be from 17,000 up to around 20,000 tons at standard displacement. They used Type 21 and Type 13 radars and Type 3 sonar. Each had 12 5-inch anti-aircraft guns with various 25mm guns. Additionally, the ships were also armed with 4.7-inch rocket launchers and batteries. 6 of these batteries were placed on each of the carriers. Depth charges were also added in case of an attack from submarines. Original air group was supposed to consist of 12 fighters, 27 dive bombers and 18 torpedo bombers for a total of 57 operational and 8 spare aircraft. In 1944, this was changed to a hangar load of 21 fighters, 18 dive bombers and 21 torpedo bombers. Some spare aircraft would also be there with a small amount of additional aircraft on the flight deck. But at that time, there weren't enough aircraft for their carriers. Some were later cancelled as they needed materials for other ships, and some were only launched, but some were almost completed and 3 were completed and 1 was at 84% completed before the end of the war. Unryu would be the only one to sail and see action outside ports, while others were hit at those ports. The ones that survived the war were scrapped, but Unryu was sunk by the submarine Redfish, while carrying an air group as well as supplies for the islands in December 1944. She was sent to reinforce the garrison on Luzon Island with 3 destroyers. Redfish hit Unryu with 2 torpedoes just under the island. Torpedo protection did good for the first hit, but the second one got Unryu above the torpedo protection. Then ammunition was on fire and explosions started. Ship sunk with only 145 sailors surviving.